All right, here we are again for another Flagship episode. This is our Flagship 2 episode, and April is back. April, I'm glad to have you back. Anything could have happened. Something horrible could have happened on your way back, and that might have been our last show with you. So I'm so glad that's not the case.
So, yeah, we were originally supposed to travel on 9/11, and we ended up going on 9/10 just because, I don't know, bad mojo. I just said, yeah, let's go out a day early so we don't have to do the 9/11. But I saw some really cool posts on 9/11 from the cockpit and that sort of thing, and just pilots just kind of doing a remembrance type speech of sorts. So I guess that would have been kind of neat to be part of. But we traveled on 9/10 instead of 9/11.
Well, that's only half the story because your flight was Flight 666 on 9/11, right?
Oh, my gosh. That would have been horrible.
Yes, I can always make it worse.
I would have never taken my child on a Flight 666 on 9/11. I can guarantee you.
I mean, flying is very, very safe, but you're always concerned about that stuff, especially as a parent. And
right.
Tell me where you flew from where to where?
So from South Carolina to Baltimore, Maryland, our first time in Maryland. So that was super cool. We went to the JEDCO headquarters. And if you don't know, JEDCO, JED, stands for Journey, Explore, and Discover Company. But they have lots of brands. Jeep is their main licensing that they do, probably like 75% of their company. But they, have T-shirts, sweatshirts, blankets. They have accessories, mugs, that sort of thing. But they also have other brands that they work with and have licensing. A lot of your beer companies, Modelo, Pacifico, Busch Light, Bud Light, all of them. You pretty much name it. And they're working with them as well. But they also do Ford, Chevrolet, all of your other vehicle companies pretty much. They also do some of your country singers, which today happens to be Country International Music Day. So Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, and then they also work with Leonard Skinner. So pretty cool company. They have a couple of big warehouses. We got to tour their warehouses, see how everything works and put together and made. And then we had some photo shoots. So Amber and I both got to participate in that. So that was fun. And then we got to do some sightseeing along the way. Oh, and this is really cool. So I had never officially eaten a crab. And for the first time, we got to dig in, really figure out how to pull off what they call the dead fingers and all the juicy parts. So that was a lot of fun, a little bit freaky, a lot dirty, but entertaining to say the least. So, but JEDCO put on something called a crab feast. And so we got to be a part of that and enjoy that. So that was a lot of fun.
That is neat. And I think I was warning you about the crab there because I'd stayed in Maryland for about a month for a job that I was doing. And the crab really didn't have much of a flavor to it, but the spices and stuff that came with it made a huge difference.
It really did.
And made it very, very good. So hopefully that worked out for you. So I didn't mention before, and I'm kind of surprised, when I was a kid, and I'm a bit picky. It sounds funny for a fat guy, but I'm a bit picky on the foods that I'll eat. And one of the things that I used to eat a lot of whenever we would go to Frontier Steakhouse in Baytown, my parents and I would get the stuffed crabs. And I mean, you think of turkey and dressing, this was like crab and dressing. And so it was like, it was like breaded stuff. So if you ever get in a situation where you're not sure, it sounds like you know what to expect now, but if you're ever in a situation where you're eating crab, look and see if they have stuffed crab, because there's nothing but a fork. It's usually in the crab shell, and then you just scoop it out and eat it. And that order was 2 crabs, 2 stuffed crabs. So there were no pinchers or legs or nothing to do other than just.
So you didn't have to pull it apart and do all of that.
Another quick story about seafood, and this is funny enough that my mom actually told my wife about it. She's my mom and my dad love seafood, and my mom would on occasion boil some shrimp. Down here on the Gulf Coast, there's lots of places that we can get fresh shrimp. So she would boil shrimp, and I'm sitting there 8, 9 years old, and she's peeling the shrimp for me. And she's putting them over there, and I'm, a little
Just
thing.
popping them in.
Yeah.
I like some shrimp.
Come on, keep it coming. And,
Oh my God.
and I don't think she could eat because she was busy.
She was too busy
it takes
making
a while.
it happen for you.
Yeah, it takes a while to peel those shrimp. So she told me, she goes, I'm not going to peel shrimp for you anymore. You need to peel your own. And I go, okay, I don't want to eat shrimp. I stopped eating shrimp
it's
because
too much work.
Oh, it's too much work.
And I'm sure that's how it is with crabs for kids. I mean, they're wanting their parents to probably do all the work because it was a lot of work.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It took a bit to get into it. So, but I'm so glad that I did it and tried that out.
Oh,
so
yeah,
Amber
the experience.
did too.
Yeah.
It was really cool, especially to be right there in Maryland, the heart of crab, everything. So, but yeah, and JEDCO does other things for companies like Old Bay and those type brands. So yeah, they have a lot going
like a really
on.
big deal. Now they're not a direct to consumer, are they? They make these products and send them to other people that sell them.
So you can get on their website and you can order as well. Just like if you wanted to get on, order a Jeep shirt, you can. So it will come directly to you, but they do house out to other people as well. Sure. Like you can go to Dick's Sporting Goods and find their gear, other companies too, like Academy. So yeah, a lot of they have their hands in a lot of things and doing some really cool things. So it was neat to see firsthand.
Yeah. So JEBCO.com. Would that be the right place? JED.
As in discover.
Jeep Echo Dog and then CO like company. .com. So check it out. I'm going to check it out. I'm kind of curious to see what they got there. And I won't hold it against them that they're carrying Ford Bronco stuff.
They do carry Ford Bronco.
Of course they do. All right. So on tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about, speaking of Ford, could Ford's Bronco be the reason for the Toyota FJ return? Yes, FJ Cruiser is coming back. Although Toyota has not officially released this information, I think it's a pretty good thing that pretty good information that's coming back, and we're going to be talking about that.
Yeah, it's definitely out there. I watched a video on it, so they're pushing it, and there's they're
testing the waters. I suspect
making waves, and I will say, I don't hate a FJ Cruiser. So
I never have. It's not a Jeep, so I'm not interested in having an FJ Cruiser to take off road or really do anything. But it was a cool looking vehicle, and I think that having off road alternatives is always a good thing. It's just like and I don't want to offend any Apple people out there, but it's like Apple. I have no desire to have an Apple product.
Makes sense, yeah.
But I love that they're there because they've always pushed the technology forward. True. There was the Windows, the PC, and it didn't have a mouse. And then the Mac came out, and it was a mouse, and then the mouse came out. Way back then, it was the 5 1/4 inch floppies, but Apple came out with a 3.5 inch floppy, which was hard and it's smaller and had more. So they've always pushed it forward.
Yeah, that makes sense. Without competition, why do you need to keep improving? So
exactly,
it's the same thing with vehicles or anything, or just like one tire company moving across the street from another tire company. You got to keep doing bigger and better, to keep everyone happy. But yeah, I guess growing up too within my dad's body shop and seeing him work on all kinds of vehicles, I don't hate any vehicle. I have a love and respect for all of them, and the work and time that it takes going into just build a vehicle, put it together, and just make it do all the things it needs to do is pretty amazing.
Oh, it's a miracle.
We actually have a Scout company building here, so that's going to be a neat, huge facility to see vehicles come out of. So yeah. I'm just always fascinated by just the whole process. There was
a lot of vehicles, off-road vehicles from the mid to the late 60s that were very impressive. Bronco being one of those.
Yeah.
I think that Bronco is really cool. I don't know any much about it. I don't know how good it was. It just looked cool, and I really, really enjoyed the Ford Broncos from that time frame. The one they have now seems to be a little fat. It seems to be a little wide and, not as nimble. But of course the Jeeps have gotten that way too with the Wranglers and the 4-doors.
And I have to say, from far away, sometimes it's like, is that a Jeep or is that a Bronco? So
Yeah. You have to,
maybe I'm the only one that thinks that, but
no, you're going to have to time your wave. I think that's the reason why,
yes, it's like,
I think that's the reason why they got Bronco across the grill.
yes, yeah. So I
And I
totally
don't,
own that
yeah. And I don't hate any vehicle. I just, like I said, if it's not a Jeep, I don't care.
preference.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
just
cause
preference.
yeah, I'm only interested in Jeeps, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. All right, so as we were talking about Toyota FJ Cruiser comeback, the Toyota FJ Cruiser, a cult favorite retro off-roader, discontinued in 2014. Can you believe it was that long ago?
No,
That's what is that?
crazy.
11 years ago, and I just didn't seem like that. It has been a subject of intense speculation for a revival. While Toyota hasn't made the official announcement, recent leaks, patents, and reports. Oh, the patents! I think that's really important to this story.
Yeah.
And credible sources like Best Car Japan and Car Scoops point to strong likelihood of a return, potentially as the Land Cruiser FJ or the new FJ Cruiser. I think they ought to call it the same thing. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be significantly different from the original FJ Cruiser. I mean, if they're going more towards the overlanding crowd, maybe they do want to call it a Land Cruiser FJ.
Well, yeah, I did see that they are going towards overlanding. They'll have packages as far as, even being able to get a tent already on it. But, I think it's still what it appears is the retro look, but completely modern. So, all the fancy bells and whistles that you might want, but in a retro look. So looks like they're having a lot of offerings. And I know I saw like the base price starts at 45,000 and it'll go up to like 60,000 depending on, if you want an overlanding package on it. So yeah, there's definitely that offering.
So I'm seeing here on the information that I pulled up, entry level around 35,000 to 40,000 in the US,
Okay,
undercutting the 2025 Land Cruisers 58,150. Hybrids could push to 45,000. I still have a problem with an off-road vehicle being a hybrid. People love the 4xEs. We have a recent a Jeep Talk Show listener that was talking about they rented a 4xE Wrangler and they were really impressed with it, with the power, especially acceleration on the highway and the additional fuel mileage it gave them. I mean, it's not giving you full fuel mileage, but you're leveraging that battery and that battery charge. So it does help overall. So,
I guess I can't really say because I haven't driven one per se, but, just preference again, it's not for me, but then also I haven't driven one. So,
right. Yeah, there's opinion, there's a informed opinion, and there's just opinion. And I think that's what you're talking about. You have your opinion, but that's good that you qualify it, that you haven't driven one. Same here. I don't like the idea of having multiple systems because that's more than one thing that can go wrong. But you can also say that if one thing goes wrong and the other one doesn't, maybe you can still use the other one to keep going.
True.
I just think it's a
good point.
It's rife with potential additional costs and lots of stuff that you shouldn't have to really deal with. So the global debut, first half of 2026, with production starting late 2025 in Thailand or Mexico, which means tariffs, people.
Tariffs.
You're going to be paying extra for this, but I mean, it's Toyota, but they can still make them here, right?
They could, and they should.
Toyota's strategery aligns with freedom of choice. Offer gas, hybrid, and eventually EV to compete in the booming compact off-road segment against Jeep and Ford. If it launches, it could revive the FJ's legacy while addressing modern demands like better fuel economy. For official confirmation, keep an eye on Toyota's site or events like the LA Auto Show in November. So I think people pay attention to that. If you're really, really curious about this, even if you're not planning on buying one, maybe you just like to stay up on what's going on. See if they show up with one at the LA Auto Show in November, because that's not very far away. Yeah, I think it is. They mentioned that, so I bet you that's why.
Yeah,
why they mention it. April, I was curious. We talked about JEDCO, and that sounds like that was a fun thing. How long were you there, by the way?
So just a couple of days, like
Yeah,
3
so it
days.
wasn't one
So it
day in and
wasn't
out, which is good.
no, yeah. So we like I said, we got to travel a little bit. We went to the George Peabody Library, which was massive, ornate, and just gorgeous. Apparently, they do a lot of weddings there, but it's still run for the local schools around there. So there were students working in there, but I mean, just beautifully insane. Amazing to look at and see. And then we went to the Patterson Park, which they have this very ornate, again, observatory building. Almost looks like something out of Japan. So just a really, really cool, neat place.
Mhm.
So, and then just enjoyed the sights, some of the old buildings, restaurants, that sort of thing. So glad to be there. I would definitely go back. So yeah, and
It's a pretty
before
place. Maryland
it
is
is a pretty
a very pretty
place.
place.
And I guess the only thing with just Amber and I going, everybody was like, "Oh, y'all need to be careful." A lot of
It is known
crime.
for a high crime area, yeah.
So, but we didn't
Baltimore
have,
is.
yeah, we didn't have any problems. I will say one night we decided to order Cheesecake Factory in, and we sat and ate our cheesecake. And from the window, there were like 5 cop cars outside. It was like live PD at its finest, and just people running from every direction and then back around. We saw them running back around one of the big parking buildings and kind of like hiding out. So I was like, okay, maybe it was a good thing that we ordered in tonight, but
Yeah.
that was probably the most entertaining excitement we had as far as crime goes to speak. So, yeah,
Well,
but it was a lot
everything
of
is
fun.
potentially dangerous. You just don't want to put yourself in a
I mean,
situation that's unreasonable. Yeah.
exactly. But
I don't think I mentioned this to you when I was in Baltimore. I was in Columbia, and we went to Baltimore for something, probably to eat crabs. I don't know how far away it is because it's been a number of years now. But Washington D.C. is not very far from there.
right,
And we went to the Smithsonian, not all of them, but I went to the Air
nice.
and Space Museum, and it was amazing.
I
I
can
mean,
imagine.
I
We
walked up
wanted
to a
to.
V2 rocket from World War II, the German V2 rocket,
Wow.
just sitting there. I mean, I could have reached out and touched it. I didn't touch anything.
Yeah.
Do you remember the
It's probably frowned
Voyager?
upon.
Oh well,
Yes.
it's just bad. I mean, there's nothing there that tells you not to,
Okay.
but just common sense,
Right.
everybody doing that is going to ruin it over time,
Yes.
or make it further away from you. I mean, it was just right there. I
Exactly.
mean, I was that close to a
I
V2
can
rocket.
imagine.
But whenever I walked in the entrance, the Voyager, the one that did the non-refueled flight around the world,
Right.
was hanging above my head at the
Oh,
entryway.
wow.
And in it, I could have done this and touched it as well. So
I bet it was
here's,
tempting.
oh, well, I mean, I know the whole thing is history, but here is
Yes.
this huge piece of history, first time ever. And the bottom of it wasn't painted. And
Huh.
and the reason why it wasn't painted is because paint is weight. And they didn't
Yeah,
want
that makes
any
sense.
unnecessary weight. But in the pictures and stuff I saw of it and it flying and during the thing, I didn't see that it wasn't painted.
Yeah,
It was painted on the sides, but not on the bottom. Like
on the bottom.
nobody's going to
That
see
makes
this.
sense, though.
It does, but because I was there and saw it, made the difference. Because
Right.
anyway, yeah.
I like that.
If you go back, make sure you go to some of those places.
We will. That Amber wanted to so bad. We just didn't have ample time, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, and I
There
bet you need a week to go to
Oh,
all the Smithsonians.
definitely.
They're huge. It's amazing what all that taxpayer money can buy.
Right? There's so much to see. I mean, just even across the whole US, if you could just,
Yeah.
you need weeks to spend in every state. So, yeah, we would have loved to.
All right. So I was going to ask you a question. I don't think we've talked about this before. We have newbies listening to the show all the time. People are always new to the show. And I think that it would be, I'd like to know, and I think they would too, what do you think, or maybe what was your first modification to your Jeep? And maybe it's a twofold question. What was the first modification, and what was the first modification you should have made?
Oh, okay. The first modification I made, I believe, was my bumper. Warn Elite front bumper.
Hmm.
I didn't do the back bumper at that time, although I have a Warn Elite back bumper as well now. But it was definitely the bumper. I would say just because of the weight and everything, you know, I don't know that I would change it, but and I'm not sure, I know in my mind, I thought I should probably do a lift and tires first, but for whatever reason, I did
That's
not.
common. Yeah, that's a common thing to do.
So, yeah, if I were to do it again, I would definitely do the lift and the tires first. So, I guess it's really kind of silly to get a bumper and a winch before you put on your
Not at
big
all.
tires.
We always tell people that their Wrangler, their Gladiator, is off-road capable straight off the showroom
That is
floor.
true. That is very true.
And if you're going to go someplace off-road, having a winch is one of those things that you really, really want. So I think you made a great choice.
Okay. I thought, people might be like, "Oh, why did you do that?" But no, and in hindsight, that is true as far as having the winch on there and being able to pull myself out of a situation if I needed to. But yeah, that's exactly what we did. So, but I do love the tires and the wheels. They just look pretty, and I like them beefy.
Probably the most fun thing to do whenever you're doing non OEM wheels and tires. The same was true. I had a 72 Nova that I put tires and wheels on, and it just makes the whole vehicle
really
change.
Does.
And it's especially true with
everything.
Jeeps. Yes. And it's neat being seen. I mean, I don't drive my Jeep around to impress people, but it is pretty cool whenever your kid is with you or kids are with you, and they go, "Dad, this person's checking out your Jeep." They're breaking their neck looking at your Jeep,
It's so cool to see. We were coming back from Great Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion. We stopped at a rest area, and this lady comes running up to the Jeep, and she was like, "I hope you don't mind, but can I please take a picture of your Jeep?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, of course."
Let me think about it. Sure.
Yeah.
Here's $1.
It's so fun to see people get excited about it. But what she said she and her kids do now, instead of playing punch buggy, they run around and they take pictures of Jeeps, and they'll send them back and forth. So it's kind of like a game to them, which I'd never heard of. So I thought that was really cool. A different spin on
I like that better than ducks. Did you tell her about the duck thing?
Oh, she knew about the ducks.
Okay.
Yeah. And I had a whole bunch because I was coming back from Great Smoky Mountain Jeep. So I don't normally ride with the ducks just because I do off-road and they will all end up on the floor. We've definitely done that before, but I had a ton coming back from Great Smoky. I will say earlier, I should have said your answer to what did you do first? I should have said lights. Just to get people going.
Did you start off with a Rubicon?
I did. I did start off with a Rubicon.
Difference. So you didn't have to worry about rocker protection or rock sliders and stuff because it came with that.
Right. Yeah.
Do you still have the originals? Go ahead.
I don't know. I've traded out a whole bunch of stuff. So, I mean, there's definitely still some original parts and pieces, but yeah, I've traded out a bunch. Mm-hmm. So yeah. And I think if I had to do that again, I would not buy a Rubicon. I would just buy the bare minimum and put on exactly what I want and just build up everything.
It seems to be a waste, doesn't it? I mean, it's nice having the lockers and the 410 gears. I mean, the JLs, you can get that with you get the 410 and the heavier duty axles with the Rubicon, but there's things that you can do to still get that, but not have all the stuff that is the Rubicon. And you can always put a Rubicon sticker on the hood. Nobody will know but you and Jesus. So
yeah, you and Jesus. Although, I kind of want to take mine off and put something else on, but I don't, just because it's already on there. So
I would feel bad if I had bought a Rubicon Gladiator and then pulling that off to put Jeep Talk Show on there. But the show's important. It's
the show is important.
I'd rather advertise my stuff than Jeeps,
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, if I had to do that part again, I would just buy a base model and build it.
I think that the most important thing, and I learned this the hard way, the most important thing to put on a Jeep that doesn't already have rocker protection is rocker protection. Rock sliders, proper rock sliders, not something that looks pretty. It can look pretty, but it needs to be able to support the weight of the Jeep. And the other thing is, even if you're not going off road, it's great for door dings because people are probably going to hit that rock slider, which is much more capable of handling doors. In fact, it's going to mess up their doors more than it's going to mess up your rock sliders.
Oh, my rock sliders are completely bent on the driver's side from Moab. They look
Who
they
did
you could
who did you get? What rock sliders did you
so
get?
I actually have Am Off-Road. They're a company that had sent them, but I bought them, and I'll have to say, you said don't buy them because they're pretty, but
Mhm.
I
It's
did. They
hard.
were
I mean, we like
one
making
of
our Jeeps pretty.
yeah, so they actually, because I have kind of an American theme on my Jeep, and they had stars within theirs kinda cut out, and I just really like them.
Mhm.
So I have those, and I will say they have held up so well. I've had them for years and years, but yeah, I did a little bit of massive damage going to Moab on a big rock, so,
Yeah.
but I
So
will say I'm also not one of those people who wants a really clean Jeep all the time.
right.
Like, I'm okay being in a show and someone looking at it and be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you definitely will this. I see this and this and this." So, I'm proud of my bandages.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to have a Jeep and keep it nice and put things on it that are heavy duty, and keep it nice and pristine by not taking it off road.
Right.
But what's
What
cool
fun is
is,
that?
yeah, but what's cool is when you take it off road and you do some minor damage to it, and
Right?
the stuff that you bought is doing what it's supposed to do and being
Yes.
used for what it should be used for. In my opinion, you do not have to wheel your Jeep. I think a lot of
Right.
people don't wheel their Jeep because they're concerned about damaging it or maybe even
Yes.
themselves being hurt. It's scary. And
It is.
but
It
once
is.
you try it, just not and not hardcore stuff, just a little something that's outside your comfort zone, and you survive, and the Jeep survives. I think it gets you hooked.
It does. It does. I will definitely agree with that. So, I mean, it's just the memories and the people and everyone coming together and seeing what the Jeeps can do. And like you said, even if you go to an off-road park, you don't have to do level 9. You can get out and you
No,
can watch someone else, completely destroy their Jeep.
their FJ
So,
Cruiser,
yeah,
yeah,
I was about to say, or their FJ Cruiser. So that's a lot of fun to see, or their Bronco.
yeah.
So it's just fun, regardless of whether you're doing it or you're watching someone else do it. It's a thing. It's just a whole thing.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Oh, speaking of going off road and doing fun things or even watching it, so maybe you've already heard about this, April. Johnson Valley's vast 9,600 off road highway vehicle recreation area in the Mojave Desert, east of Los Angeles. Well, what a spot!
Yeah.
In the San Bernardino County, California, managed primarily by the Bureau of Land Management. Events like the annual King of the Hammers, that's the part I want you to pay attention to.
Right.
Approximately 5,300 acres operated under the shared use agreement with the adjacent Marine Corps Air Ground Command Center at 29 Palms, allowing limited military training access up to 2 30-day periods per year while prioritizing public recreation. All right, why did I read that? Is because they're trying to change it.
Oh,
You don't know about this. All right. So maybe some of our
why?
listeners and viewers don't either.
I
So
didn't.
yeah, the U.S. Marine Corps and Federal Aviation Administration proposed to establish a permanent special use airspace over Johnson Valley
Oh,
as it has reignited tensions announcing environmental impact documents. This would restrict civilian aircraft, including drones, helicopters, and general aviation above the area, potentially for up to 60 days annually, though
okay.
expanded after the first year. I'll repeat that. Though it could be expanded after the first year. So not 60 days,
Oh,
more than 60 days. So groups like Blue Ribbon Coalition and King of Hammers organizers fear disruptions to
oh
media
yeah.
helicopters, medical evacuations. That is really
Right?
important. I mean,
That's super
making money
important.
is good, but getting people out of there that are injured, and drone filming during events. King of Hammers February 2026 race
Mm.
on Means Dry Lake could require USMC clearances, risking delays or
No.
cancellations. Founder Dave Cole called it a different bite, same apple. In other words, this has been going on for a while.
Yeah. That would
As
be awful
yeah, as the old
for
land
them.
grab. So This is the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I heard about it, and what are you going to do? The part I heard, I think I was actually talking to Tyler over at Moreflate in his interview. Yeah, I think he was talking to me about it, and it was like, I'm thinking to myself, well, who cares if you can't fly things over it? And then it was like, oh yeah, they fly helicopters and drones and all kinds of stuff for the King of the Hammers. And
and I mean, that's like complete mayhem sometimes. I mean,
exactly.
They need to be able to get medical rescue in if they need to do so.
That, and they're trying to make money off of this deal and selling the media coverage for people on YouTube and wherever is a big deal. And it costs a lot of money to do this. And so I was kind of the mindset. Now, don't get me wrong. I think everybody knows I love our military. I support them. They need to be able to train. They need to be able to do this stuff. But next time they say, hey, can we want to share this space with you. If you can, say no. I'm just going to say a polite no, because you guys want too much. You don't just leave it at this. You want to expand. Yeah.
All or nothing.
Yeah. And that's what they're going to with this.
I know King of the Hammers brings in like 100,000 people.
Yeah.
It's a huge
It's a town that doesn't exist until King of the Hammers. And then it's this town.
And just you think about for economy and all of that. I mean, that's important too.
Yes.
I mean, yes, all of it is important and they all need to work together. But yeah, I would hate to have to see something like King of the Hammers go away because I mean,
or
that's
moved. It would be completely different. I mean, this is where it's always been.
So different.
Yeah. So this is a good reason why you need to be able to go and places like Blue Ribbon Coalition. Oh God, I'm brain farting on the other organization. Anyway, I'll think of it 3 days from now. But Blue Ribbon Coalition, especially because they help keep things like this, keep these areas open. And they've got lawyers and they know people in Congress and DC and so on and so forth. So critics see it as eroding the 2014 compromise, potentially leading to more restrictions. Alternatives in the proposal range from full permanent closures to shared with delays. So it's kind of hard to plan things whenever it's shared with delays, and I don't think that you should have to do that. I'd like to hear the U.S. Marine Corps side argument on this. Oh, we just want it. You can't drive your tanks out there whenever although it'd be pretty cool to see some M1 Abrams on the course.
Yeah, it would be cool
during King of the Hammers.
It would be cool. I mean, like you say, you respect the military, and I get that as well. But I also respect the economy part of it for other people, and it's just having a space and sharing that space, if at all possible. So, King of the Hammers doesn't last all year. It's here and
what
there.
What is it? 2 weeks?
Yeah,
and I'm sure there's a build up.
Right. So it would seem that they could keep that time open for something that's been how long has the King of the Hammers been going on? Do you know?
Good Lord, 20 years, 15 years, longer than? I don't know.
A long time. It's
a staple. So Everybody looks forward to it.
It's classic. It's classic. So,
and it gives a lot of builders opportunities, not only to get out there and try out what they've built, but also to advertise their abilities. This is what I'm capable of building, type thing. Although some of it's luck, and of course the driver.
Right. Yeah. It's all of it for sure. It's, a puzzle comes together. So, yeah.
So I'm not trying to put you in a bad situation as far as upcoming events, but do you have any upcoming events here in the next couple of weeks?
So, yeah, I do have Overland Expo East coming up. It's in Arrington, Virginia. So huge overlanding show, not only for just Jeeps, but they'll have Harleys out there, Toyotas, any of your off-roading, overlanding type vehicles will be out there. So it's a lot of fun. Everyone camps for the most part in this huge open field, and then you'll have all your vendors around. But at night, it kind of comes alive. They'll have, big cookouts and just a whole bunch of people getting together and doing the camp thing. I will say, as far as events go, overlanding events, probably one of my favorites because, I don't know, just the camping and the off-roading in combination is just more of my thing, but
Well,
it's a
you see
great
more.
event.
You're seeing more than just off-road
Yeah.
stuff. You're used to the off-road stuff. At least
Yes.
that's my take on it. I love those little mini homes that they call trailers,
Oh
that are
gosh.
50, 60, $70,000, and it's just
Oh.
amazing what they build on these things and what they do.
50, 60,000 is a start to what they're showing at these overland
Is
shows.
it?
I mean, they're up to like 200 grand plus. They're massive and just incredible. So, I personally like more on the smaller side, but you can honestly imagine and dream anything and it's going to be there. It's incredible, but Starlink,
Yeah.
anything you think about wanting to have on your vehicle, it's there. It's there. And the one thing too that I love when they have, and I don't know what they're called, but they're the guns that kind of spit out I don't know, the little pellets. Do you know what I'm
Um,
talking about? Oh, is it Byrie? Something like that.
I'm thinking Nerf, but there's another one that has
Nerf.
have little hard pellets that I'm thinking about.
Yes.
Yeah, little hard plastic pellets.
Yeah.
I
But
can't remember the name.
they have things like that other than, just your bumpers and I mean, not that they don't have all that too, but they have some other really cool gears and gadgets that they're, wanting to promote and get out. So it's a neat show. It's a neat show to just see the innovation and things coming about.
So could you see if you had infinite money and
Oh,
could you see yourself living on the road for
yes.
a full year?
Yes.
Could you imagine waking up at Moab and
100% yes.
and just I mean it's snow or whatever, you're all set up ready to go, you're right there, and you got Starlink, so you got
Yes.
high-speed internet, so it's
I
like you're
would. I'm
feeling
that
lazy,
girl.
you pop open the little the little recliner that you got in the small thing,
I am that
you're
girl.
cruising the internet, but you're in the middle of nowhere.
Look, I can spend massive amounts on TikTok just watching these girls, especially. Like, I'm not so much as to watching the guys do it, but I'm fascinated by watching these women just go off by themselves, live out of their vehicle. I don't even need something pulled behind me. Like,
That
literally,
is scary as hell. The
live.
the vans that they've got set
Yes.
up. I find it very interesting.
I mean, some of it's not even a van. It is literally their Jeep, their car,
Mhm.
whatever. They're cooking in the back seat.
Yeah.
They sleep. I am mesmerized. I can just watch them for hours, but I'm just thinking I would do it. I know people would think I was crazy, but I would so do
Well,
it.
seeing these women do this, I think of safety. I think from my wife's perspective, or especially my
Yes.
daughter's perspective,
Right.
and you're pulling up into a to a Walmart. I mean, if you've ever been camping with friends, there is no better fun that you can have. When you're on the ground in tents, there's no better fun you can have than wait till at 3:00 in the morning and go over there and beat on the side of the tent. It's a
Yes.
bear,
Yes. And yes. Or, I mean, one time I was camping, there were some, we'll just say they had probably been drinking a little too much or
Mhm.
whatever. I'm not sure what they were doing, but we were in, I think it was a pop-up tent. I've camped in just about everything you can imagine. So from just a basic tent to a pop-up to, pull behind trailer. But this guy came over and just started beating on the camper in the middle of the night. I mean, that was a little bit freaky. So we ended up having to get the camp host to come over and have them removed. But they were just trying to camp in their vehicle at the time. But this was years ago before it became popular. So I don't know. We like to say they were running from the law.
Yeah. Well, they'd be running from bear spray or something electrical.
I have my bear spray. I have protection and, whatever I need. So I'm not
Yeah.
afraid. But,
Well, but I mean,
you definitely know who's going to walk.
You don't want some dumbass losing their vision temporarily or ultimately their
Exactly.
life simply because they don't know how to behave whenever they're
Right.
drinking alcohol or some wacky
Exactly.
tobacco or something. So yeah, you don't like, I don't like putting myself in that situation, but
No.
you've been through that, you've learned, and
Yes.
it's less of a concern now.
Right, right. Oh, even around here, going to a rest area, you have to be on guard. So, yeah, you just and anywhere I
Oh
can
yeah.
imagine
No,
you just
people.
have to know you have to know your surroundings. You have to know what's around you, whether you're camping or walking around Walmart.
Oh, you could be walking around in your house and have problems.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
There's just one thing's less likely than the other. So I have a confession to make, and I have to do an apology to Nikki G. So on the last two flagship episodes, I have forgot to put in Nikki G
oh
into the
no.
episode. And the sad thing is, on the flagship episode from this past Tuesday, I actually mentioned it when I was talking to Greg during the thing, and it didn't dawn
And
on me until about 30 minutes ago. Did I put the Nikki
you did
G
it.
in? And I actually made jokes about it. I said, Greg, do something interesting in case I forget to put the Nikki G in. So,
Okay, so make sure you put Nikki G in here.
yeah, make sure. I mean, I
Make
thought
sure.
about it last time. But anyway, my apologies to you, Nikki G. It has nothing to do with you or your funny jokes that you put here, and I appreciate the time and the effort that you do to it. Totally my fault, and I think it's just because I'm editing too many things, and I'm trying to go through the steps that I go through on everything, and also too, you guys, the viewers, the listeners. Especially now that I'm going to tell you that we put in the Nikki G in post. I mean, we used to play it as part of the episode, and then I didn't forget it because I'd play it. I'm sure that April and you and Greg and everybody else would like to be able to see it and hear it at the time. But it's just I got to edit it anyway, so I might as well put it in post. And post is that fancy way of saying it after we record the show. So. If we're lucky, I will remember. I actually have a note here on the bottom of my monitor that I didn't read, obviously, last time, that says Nikki G. And if we're lucky, you're going to see a new Nikki G right here. Actually, I may put in the last 3 Nikki Gs that I was supposed to use at the end of this episode. So now I can forget to do 2 things. All right. So anyway, here's
You'll
Nikki
remember.
G. Yeah, you think so? I think since I talked about it, I bet you I will. Anyway, here's Nikki G.
Hey, this is Nikki G, and I just caught the episode where you guys talked about winches and age-old question of which is better, steel cable or synthetic rope. And I've got so many questions. Like, is there ever a day where mattresses are not on sale? And if 7-Eleven's open 24 hours a day, why are there locks on the door? Who invented liquid soap and why? And if I get scared half to death twice, what happens? All right, boys and girls. Seems like there was one more. All right, boys and girls, chat at you later and you have a good one. Bye. That's probably all you can handle for the day.
Now laugh like you had just experienced the Nikki G. There you go. Oh, that Nikki G. He's hilarious.
I love it.
After that explanation, everybody goes, oh, they're so phony. All right, so are you ready to join the Jeep Talk Show crew? Become a Patreon subscriber today at xjtalk.com/contact and unlock exclusive perks while supporting the show. Keep the adventure rolling by leaving a 5-star rating and review on your favorite podcast platform to help grow our Jeep community. If you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. We love the comments. Stay in the loop by following us on social media, signing up for our newsletter at the latest Jeep news and must-attend events. Got a question or an idea for our next episode? Send it our way at jeeptalkshow.com/contact. Thanks for riding along, and let's hit the trail for some more epic adventures. April, thanks for being here, and I think I've got enough rest. I didn't call you Amber once today. I don't think.
You didn't, but I'm okay with it, so I'll take either one.
See you later.
Bye.
Broadcasting since 2010.
You're my friend. You're my new friend.
Hey, this is Nikki G. According to a recent survey, running into stationary objects can be painful. Yeah, according to a recent poll. Hi, Chihuahua. Did you know that a school of piranhas can devour a child to the bone in 30 seconds? Yeah. Coincidentally, I lost my job at the aquarium today. All right, boys and girls, I'll chat at you later and you have a good one. Bye. Is the camera really that blurry? Huh? Holy crap. I can't believe I'm walking around like that. Hey, this is Nicky G, and you know, I saw a turtle on the side of the road the other day taking pictures. Yeah, it's a real snapping turtle. Yeah, I know. that's pretty bad. Let's see if we can do better. I had a friend who used to be a Zamboni driver, but then he disappeared. Yeah, but don't worry, I'm sure he'll resurface eventually. That one wasn't much better. It is what it is. That's the Nicky G slogan. Nicky G, it is what it is. All right, boys and girls, chat you later. Have a good one. Bye.